So I lost the audio for this intro, but this is my 1983 Datsun 280ZX that I brought home after it had been sitting in a field for 34 years. I actually managed to get the engine started, and I'm going to be using it as a donor from my 1976 Datsun 280Z that has been sitting for far too long as a roller. I want to use the engine to build a period correct L28 for the car. Now the reason I chose such a rusty donor is because the engine in the 280ZX is the highest horsepower naturally aspirated L28 that Datsun ever made. It has factory forged rods and flat top pistons, making it sort of a high compression motor. But the first thing we gotta do is pull it out of this car. And don't forget to subscribe. Now this wiring harness isn't compatible in the 76 car. I've had this one listed for sale for a long time with no interest, so everything's getting snipped. Oh yeah, look at that. What else needs to come off? Fuel lines. Oh wow, as if there's actually fuel in this. Oh, it does not smell like fuel. Uh-oh. This AFM, I think these are called an airflow meter. They're quite delicate and I think they're fairly expensive. And the rubber elbow that goes into the intake has got like 3 ports built into it. So I'm gonna try to save this if I can. I feel like somebody would probably want this. If that somebody is you, send me a message on Instagram. I can ship this thing to you. I love taking apart Datsuns because they're sort of like Toyota Corollas where all the hardware is very similar. They use like 4 different size bolts for the entire car. So it's really nice to hang on to all these bonus bolts for any future endeavors. Set this thing aside, and that looks like it got us a little bit more access to the radiator, so maybe we can make a little more progress. Oh, good. God, look at that. Look at that bushing. And not to mention the rust. This is supposed to be the inside of a frame rail. You shouldn't be able to see this material. I probably should have started this by popping the hood off just to be able to see a bit better. This is traditionally not a one-man job, but we'll see how it goes. Car can't get much more damage. Oh God, maybe this is a stupid idea. Nice handy handle here. I hope there's no spiders. Oh yeah, that's way more roomy. You can actually see what I'm working with the radiator now. Okay, let's keep taking things apart. Look at all the rust in here. There's no structure there, no structure there. Everything is falling apart on this car. Cool engine though. So I think everything under the hood is finally unhooked. The radiator and fan shroud is way more of a fight than I would have liked. I had to use the Sawzall quite a bit on that. So all the wires are unhooked, all the coolant hoses, everything like that is unhooked. So I think it's finally time to move underneath the car and start unhooking the transmission. The only problem is I don't know if we're gonna be able to safely jack this thing up. I'm gonna put the jack underneath the front K-member, and then I'm hopefully gonna find somewhere to put jack stands. There's really not a lot of structure left to this car. Like you can see, this is frame rail right here. I can put my hand right through it. Now I'm probably going to be cutting a lot of stuff to the transmission instead of removing it properly, just because I want to minimize the amount of time I have to spend underneath this thing. It It stresses me out a little bit, I'm not gonna lie. But let's get a jack into this and see what we can do. Okay, if this doesn't fit underneath here, I'm gonna air the tires up and see if that gets a little more ground clearance. Oh, plenty of clearance now. God, there's no structure at all left. I can see the driver's seat from right here. There's a nice piece of cedar rail fence right there. You think I should remove this cedar rail? Is that structural? Is that gonna help keep the car up in the air? Okay, so step one is going to be cutting the line to the clutch slave right here. I can't really see what I'm cutting if this is working. Yeah, there we go. Bone dry as expected. I think this might be the speedo cable. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I personally hope that this isn't a fuel line. Now step 3, or whatever step, God, it's a freaking spider right there. Step 3, or whatever step we're on, is going to be sawzalling this exhaust off. We should only have to do one cut because I believe the other end is rusted right off. Just how Nissan intended. I don't know if you guys can see this on the camera, that's literally frame rail. Fold that up out of the way. All right, let's see if I can sawzall the transmission cross member. So with the transmission mount cut to pieces, we can start, did I just strip that? We can start removing the engine mounts, and I may have just started off on a very wrong foot by stripping that. Is that the wrong freaking size? That was the wrong size. That sucks. We can start taking the engine mounts out, and then once those are removed, we can start lowering the car down. It has to be tricky to lower the car and the transmission sort of at the same time so it doesn't get shoved up into the transmission tunnel. And this is going to be a fight. The other side is really easy to get to, but these ones are not easy to get to at all. Everything possible is in the way. I think everything is unhooked. I've got the transmission mount cut off. I've got the engine unbolted. I think I've got everything disconnected from the motor. Got the engine hoist here, the chain on the engine. I think we're ready to pull this thing. I've got a set of side cutters, grinder, and sawzall on standby in case anything hangs us up, but let's see if we can get this thing pulled out. So the drive shaft is still in, but it should like slide out. Okay. I might not be able to roll this thing backwards because the...
What about your shifter?
Oh yeah, the shifter's still attached, you're right. Forgot about the shifter, do that every single time. That was faster than I meant. Okay, shifter was way more of a fight than I had anticipated, but we got it off. We lost the C-clip, but we got it off, so hopefully that'll give us some clearance to pull this thing out now. Oh, that's interesting. Our transmission is following along splendidly. Oh, we're getting gear oil everywhere. Should I go through the floorboards or from underneath? This thing's gonna be really heavy with all these accessories on it still, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna start swinging my way a bit.
Might have to put some more of it.
Okay.
Where do you want to set this thing?
I might just set it right here for now.
Okay.
I hate doing this, it always goes faster than I want it to. All right, the motor is finally out of the car. It came out mostly without a hitch, and now you guys can really see just how rotten this thing really is. Like holes right through the frame rail. Everywhere you look, there's rust. I can finally pull this car out of the shop and pull the new project in, and it has not come fast enough because this thing is destroying the floor in here. Now, if you guys know these L28s at all, I would love to hear some comments about what I should do as far as building it goes. I don't know if I should fully tear this thing down to the bare block, or if I should just kind of refresh some of the hardware and water pump and stuff like that. Yeah, next time you guys see this motor, it'll be getting torn down to see what it looks like inside. Thanks for watching, guys.